Okay, here we have our can of sparkling Chupa Chups flavoured drink. I'm assuming it's orange because that's the picture of the flavour on the can. And according to the blurb on the back, it's pretty hard to get some focus, I might do a still shot on that. This product contains 41 grams of sugar in this little can, which I suppose is standard for a sweet can of beverage. I'll just measure that out on the scale so we can visualise how much 42 grams of sugar is. But I've not heard of this type of flavour before, or this brand, and I've not tried it. So let's go on this journey together. Let's measure out the 41 grams of sugar and see how much that is. Okay, here we have my digital scales. Let's just turn them on. Allow the setting to calibrate itself. Okay, so we're set on 0 grams, which is what we're going to weigh today. We'll put the paper on there and it says the paper weighs 5 grams. That's a bit surprising, but maybe it's just the wind in the background. I'll tip out some pre-measured sugar on here and we'll see how we go. That's a pile of sugar there, and that comes out to 50 grams. Taking away the 5 grams of the apparent weight of the paper, that's roughly 43, 44 grams, pretty close to it. So that's about close to what we have of sugar concentrated into this can of drink. So you can see that it's a fairly large amount, but being mixed into a syrup and liquid form, that would give it its sweetness. So it's not an accurate indication that, say, the bottom 20% of the can is sugar. That's just the amount of sugar that's gone into the syrup, which will flavour the carbonated water. But there it is, roughly about 45 grams of sugar, maybe just a fraction less. And that's what's in this product. Okay, what we're going to do is take our standard 500ml drinking vessel or beer glass, and we're going to put the 3 ice cubes in there. We'll do a float test. There's 3 random ice cubes from a new ice cube tray I have. We're going to open this little can up and we're going to pour it in there. We're going to check the colour, the aroma, the taste, the float test on the cubes. There wasn't much of a noise from carbonation from the can. The main noise was from the aluminium seal being broken on the top of the can there, the old ring pull. So there's not much carbonation in the can. I'll just give it a quick smell. Oh, that smells very, very strongly of oranges, probably closer to mandarin than oranges. Now, let's see how we go when we slowly pour some in. Yeah, it's got a nice light orangey colour. I'd say it's very close to tangerine or mandarin in aroma and colour. So it's between orange and lemon. Yeah, it seems to have a nice level of carbonation in the glass here. There's plenty of bubbles on the outskirts. Pours very easily. It's got a nice translucent colour. You've got to milk every last drop of the can. So there we have it. It's just a standard aluminium can with the beveled lip on the top there. This one expires on the 1st of December 2021, so it's good up until, well, probably another year and a bit over a year. And it's 340 mils, 45 mils for this quantity of the can. And it even tells you it has 164 calories if you consume this amount of beverage. That's a nice little addition. You don't normally see the calorie count on the front of the can with the quantity, but there we have it. We'll just put the can to the side and we'll give it a little taste in just a moment so we can see there's lots of bubbles on the edge there. They're flowing slowly, which is normal. The ice cubes are floating. I don't know if we can see. I'll try and pick the phone up. The ice cubes are floating just below the surface. The premise usually is with ice, 2/3 is below the surface and 1/3 is above. In this case, it's probably 90% of the ice cubes underneath the water. That's because I'd say the carbonation from the bubbles are affixing themselves to the bottom of the ice cubes and therefore creating weight and pulling them down slightly. Plus the ice cubes are melting. It's very hot here today. It's about 37 Celsius, or a little bit around 100 degrees in the old language, in Fahrenheit. And we'll just give it a little taste test in a few moments and see how that all goes. Okay, we'll just give it a little taste test now and see what the flavour is like. First I'll smell the aroma. Yes, it's a very citrusy smell, but a sweet citrus, pretty close to orange. Yeah, it's very close to orange. You wouldn't mistake it for anything but orange if you're blindfolded. We'll just give it a little sip and see how we go. Yes, very pleasant. It's very much like an orange juice with a little bit of water in it. It's not overpowering. It's like a weak orange flavour. Very similar to a weak cordial, I would say. And it seems to be a lot of the bubbles in there are gone, so you can more or less say that this drink is flat. That's probably the assessment I'd give it. So the carbonation's pretty good initially, and there's hardly any bubbles left on the edge of the glass here. There's probably 6 or 8 in this little group here, and there's a few there, just small clusters. So it's not constantly bubbling through like you would normally see in other drinks, especially colas. A little bit of discoloration on the glass here. That's not part of it. And it does look like it's a bit thin for colour, but that's probably just the characteristic of this brand of drink. All in all, it's not bad. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll probably give it 6. I wouldn't go out of my way to buy it, but if it was on offer, I would drink it. It's very pleasant. I'd say you'd have to buy it in specialty shops and delicatessens here in my country, Australia. I haven't seen this around very much, and as soon as I saw it, I thought, well, that's something I've not seen before, so I grabbed it. So it's not readily available, but in other parts of the world, it might just be the standard drink there. I'm not really too sure. If you have any comments, please leave them. I'll be more than interested in them. And we can bring you some other flavours and other brands and more tests very soon. And thank you for watching.